Welcome, dear students. I am Professor G.S. Mahalle. Welcome you all in this lecture. Let me introduce myself first. I am Professor G.S. Mahalle. I have completed graduation, that is B.Tech in Mechanical Engineering from Government College of Engineering, Amravati. I have also completed Masters in Thermal Engineering from Amravati University. And I am having 8 years of teaching experience in this field. And particularly in every year of my 8 years of experience, I have been teaching this subject. This is very interesting and very innovative subject, that is Fluid Power 1. Without wasting any time, let me start with this lecture. So Fluid Power 1 subject requires following prerequisites to study this subject. You cannot go beyond if you don't have the prerequisites. So what thing we must know to start this subject, that is very important thing. So let me start with the first, that is the physics. You must have the knowledge of physics to study this subject. So which knowledge of physics? You must have, you must know the physical properties such as velocity, acceleration, force, work, power. This basic terminology you must know. Also you must understand basic physical concepts. Boiling, heating, cooling, that portion also you must understand. So there are various terminologies which we are directly using in this subject of fluid power, which are related to the physics or which you have already studied in physics. So we will call something directly to our subject, but you must understand that topic, that content. For that, the knowledge of physics is required. Is very essential for you that you must know the physics. Those are having the hand in physics, we can say. That student, this subject is very interesting for that students. But the students which we are not having the hand in physics, that student should not worry about this subject. Because the concepts which we require to learn the engineering mechanics, we will cover that concepts at the starting of the unit, or we can also cover that portion in difficulty session. Suppose if we are taking some topic which are very related to the physics which we learn in 11-12, but we are also having diploma students, they have not learned that topic in 11-12. So for that students, we can also arrange a special lectures that your portion regarding such as vector and differentiation and the things should get clear. So no student should worry about physics, because we will cover each and every portion very clearly for you. But we cover it during our syllabus. We cannot arrange the separate physics lecture for you at this moment. What we can do, we can take the specific topic of physics related to the fluid mechanics or fluid power at the time when we will cover the fluid mechanics topic. So you should not worry about physics. It is very interesting topic, physics, and it is also very essential for the fluid mechanics. Then next topic which we require to study the fluid mechanics or fluid power is mathematics. Mathematics is very important topic. Even I can say, to study any engineering subject, you must know physics and mathematics. Okay, and no one should get worried about it. If some mathematical portion you have missed out, no need to worry. We will definitely cover that portion and then we will move forward. Alright. Then next topic, next content which we should know is the very recent topic that we have recently covered, that is engineering mechanics. See, to study this subject of fluid mechanics, we must know engineering mechanics. because without knowing engineering mechanics we cannot cover fluid mechanics, or we can say fluid mechanics is the advanced version of engineering mechanics. Now, which portion of engineering mechanics is useful for fluid mechanics? So, in engineering mechanics, we have studied different forces acting on the body, resolution of forces, center of gravity, moment of inertia. That portions are very much essential. Also, D'Alembert's principle, Newton's second law, that portions are also very essential. We require the knowledge of fluid static, we require the knowledge of fluid kinetic, we require the knowledge of fluid kinematics also. So, we require the knowledge of engineering statics, static, kinetic, kinematics. That knowledge we will require in fluid portion. There is fluid kinetic, fluid static and fluid kinematic. Okay, we will cover it at the time of the fluid mechanics. But engineering mechanics is very essential to study fluid mechanics or fluid power. And very important topic or very important prerequisite for this subject is common sense. Yes, definitely. We must have the common sense, or we can say a general sense, to understand a certain phenomenon. Even you say a physical phenomenon is a happening process. See, suppose we cannot means it is a physical happening. Suppose we throw a stone, it will come to a ground automatically, or it will come to a ground at some point. That is a physical phenomenon. So certain physical phenomenon is happening, and we must have the common sense to understand that phenomenon. I think it is sufficient for you. You are getting it what I am saying. So this is general prerequisite which we required before starting of this subject. So out of which some portion we will cover in this lecture. We will come to the physics. Firstly, we will cover the fundamental physical quantities. So do you know how many fundamental physical quantities are available, or what is the number of fundamental quantity? So there are actually a 7 number of fundamental quantities which we will cover one by one. Time, which we measure in second. Time is the fundamental physical quantity. Then second one is the length. Length is also a fundamental physical quantity which we measure in meter, that is unit is in meter. Then mass we measure in kilogram. See here, these three are the very basic, very, we can say, very fundamental. In fundamental there is a very fundamental. Actually these three fundamental physical quantities is of general use, but there are also certain physical quantities which we don't use generally, but they are required at some point of time in our life, in our education. So we will cover that also. That is this electric current, that is ampere. So this portion comes to the electrical engineering students, but the basic concepts of the electrical current we must know. This is also a fundamental physical quantity. Then next one is the thermodynamic temperature. Definitely it's a fundamental physical quantity. We are having the use of this temperature, thermodynamic temperature, that is Kelvin. We are having lots of use in engineering thermodynamics, in heat transfer, in energy conversion, in RAC, refrigeration air conditioning system. We are having the use of this quantity. We have to use this quantity repetitively. So we must know the fundamental physical quantity. Then mole, amount of substance, which is more, this property, this quantity is more required in chemistry portion. So is it clear? One last property remains, that is the luminous intensity, that is candela. Candela is its unit. So luminous intensity is also a 7 fundamental physical quantity, but let me clear to you, out of this 7, these 3 fundamental quantities are of general use. We required these 3 fundamental physical quantities in our regular teaching, we can say. Without this fundamental quantity, we cannot go forward. So these 4 quantities are also very much required. but its uses are very limited. Okay, so let's move forward. We will discuss various, yes, we will discuss various properties and its symbols and its units. So, which I have told you that are the basic or fundamental physical quantities, but there are derived physical quantity. Derived means what? Which we have derived from fundamental physical quantity. But this distance we have covered in this, that is length portion, we can call it as a fundamental physical quantity, no issue. But come to a speed or velocity. Speed or velocity is what? It is the rate of change of displacement with respect to time. So rate of change of displacement is nothing but what we have done here. We have derived certain quantity from a fundamental quantity. That's why it is called a derived property. And what is speed? Speed is nothing but rate of change of displacement or distance with respect to time. Its unit is meter per second. You must know this terminology which I am telling to you. Then third one is the acceleration. Acceleration is what? Rate of change of velocity. That is meter per second square. Now you see that, sir, we know this basic physical phenomenon, physical quantities. But why you are repetitively telling us these quantities? Because, dear friends, these quantities are very much required during this syllabus. You say we know velocity, it is a rate of change of distance. You know rate. Rate is very interesting phenomenon. Rate. You know run rate. Run rate is what? Rate of making runs by the batsman is the run rate. If I tell you the score and overs, you can immediately tell me the run rate. If I say you 36 runs in 6 overs, what will the run rate? You will immediately say, sir, it is a 6 runs per over. How you have calculated it? That is very interesting thing that we don't know how we have calculated. But if we think it clearly, you will understand that you have calculated it by dividing runs, by dividing overs to the runs, means runs per over. Let me write it. By dividing, yes, runs, just a minute. How you have calculated it? You have calculated it by doing run per over. That is 36 run and 6 over. That is, it is nothing but 6 is your answer. So what is 6? 6 is the rate of doing runs by the batsman per over. And then what is this? What is velocity? It is the rate of doing displacement or it is the rate of doing distance. That is the displacement. What is acceleration? Acceleration is nothing but rate of changing speed or rate of changing velocity. That is the acceleration. That is change of velocity. That is nothing but dv upon dt. Are you getting it? That phenomenon is called as acceleration. Then see here force. Force is very important and very interesting. Force is defined by Newton. That's why the unit of force is Newton. See, in Newton, we are familiar with the 3 laws of Newton. Newton's first law, Newton's second law, and Newton's third law. All these laws of Newton's defines nature of the force at some portion of time. If we say Newton's first law of motion gives the idea of force. Newton's second law of motion defines the force, and Newton's third law of motion shows the behavior of force. Now you ask me, sir, how? Now let me take a blank slide. See, Newton's first law states that if a body is in motion, it will continue its motion until and unless an external agency will stop it. You understand this? Or the statement can be like this: if a body is in the rest, it will continue its position until and unless an external agency acts on it. That means it defines inertia actually. But in this definition, we must understand the external agency. What is external agency? That is a force. That means, what is the force? What force does? Force can stop a moving object, or force can move a stationary object. Do you understand this? That is the force which we are defined by the first law actually. But first law defines inertia, means first law inertia बद्दल माहिती देतो आपल्याला, परंतु आपल्याला याच्यामध्ये फोर्सचं नेचर समजते की फोर्स करू काय शकतो. फोर्स करू काय शकतो, तर फोर्स स्टेशनरी ऑब्जेक्टला मूव्ह करू शकतो किंवा मूव्हिंग ऑब्जेक्टला स्टेशनरी करू शकतो. ओके, इन सेकंड लॉ ऑफ न्यूटन व्हॉट वी हॅव स्टडीड, दॅट इज एफ इज इक्वल्स टू एम ए. इन सेकंड लॉ वी हॅव अंडरस्टँड द मॅग्निट्यूड ऑफ फोर्स. फोर्स किती असतो, तर त्या ऑब्जेक्टचं मास किती आहे आणि तो ऑब्जेक्ट किती ॲक्सेलरेशननी मूव्ह होत आहे किंवा त्याच्यावर ॲक्सेलरेशन किती आहे. आर यू अंडरस्टँडिंग दिस? दॅट इज द सेकंड लॉ. आणि थर्ड लॉ काय सांगतो, थर्ड लॉ काय म्हणतो की फोर्स हा एकटा नसतो. एकटा नसतो म्हणजे काय, फोर्स ॲक्ट्स इन कपल. नाउ यू वुड से हाऊ दिस इज, बट सी, if you give force, now see, if I am here, this is wall, if I apply the force on the wall, so what I will get impact from the wall also. That means force acts in couple. That means force gives equal and opposite reaction. That means if I am exerting a force, that means a positive direction of force in this direction, then I am getting reaction in this direction. That means what, याचा अर्थ असा होतो की फोर्स हा एकटा नसतो, फोर्स हा कपलमध्ये असतो. समजलं आहे तुम्हाला? म्हणजे एव्हरी ॲक्शन हॅज इक्वल अँड अपोजिट रिॲक्शन. दॅट मीन्स फोर्स ॲक्ट्स इन कपल. हा एकटा नसतो, फोर्स हा कपलमध्ये असतो. कपलमध्ये म्हणजे दोन असतात, तसं आपण म्हणू शकतो आपल्या भाषेत आपल्याला समजून घेण्यासाठी. आर यू गेटिंग इट? समजलं आहे तुम्हाला? ओके, चला तर बघू आपण फोर्स म्हणजे काय असतं. एफ हे कोणं डिफाईन केलेलं आहे, याला मास इंटू ॲक्सेलरेशन, हे न्यूटनच्या सेकंड लॉने डिफाईन केलेलं आहे. आणि आपण त्याचं युनिट काय असेल बरं, मग मासचं युनिट काय असते, के जी. मासचं युनिट काय असते सांगा, मासचं युनिट असते के जी. आणि ॲक्सेलरेशन युनिट काय असते, मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वेअर. त्यामुळे फोर्स काय असेल, के जी मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वेअर, मीन्स नथिंग बट इट्स अ न्यूटन. सी, ऑल द टाइम वी कॅन नॉट राईट दिस टर्म, kg meter per second square term we cannot write all the time. So we, instead of kg meter per second square, we write Newton. Are you getting it? Then we will move forward. That is the fifth property. It is a work. Work means what? Work is nothing but force. Work काय असते बरं? वर्क असते फोर्स इंटू डिस्प्लेसमेंट. हे आपल्याला माहिती आहे, आपण शिकलो असेल एफ इंटू डी एक्स, एफ डी एक्स कॉस थिटा वगैरे. दॅट पोर्शन इज व्हेरी डिफरंट, वी विल नॉट गो टू इट. ओके, काय असते वर्क? वर्क म्हणजे काय, फोर्स इंटू डिस्प्लेसमेंट. वर्क मीन्स व्हॉट, फोर्स इंटू डिस्प्लेसमेंट. सो बेसिकली we have understood what is the work. Now we move forward. What is power? Power is what? Rate of doing work. Now again the term comes rate. Again the term has come rate. Now see, again the term has come rate. We are familiar with the rate. Rate is what? We have already calculated run rate. Likewise, rate is what? Rate means work per minute time. That is nothing but rate of doing work. And rate of doing work is nothing but power. That means, what is the unit of work? Newton meter per second. Now see, work, this definition of work is been given by Joule. So we called unit of work as a Joule, and the definition of power is given by Watt. So we called this unit of the power as a W or Watt. Now you see me, now you tell me, what is the, actually let me take a blank slide. What is Watt? What is Watt? Watt is what? Newton meter per second. What is Newton? Newton is what? Newton is kg meter per second square. that is Newton, into meter per second. That is what? That is meter per second. That is means what? What is watt? Watt is actually kg meter square second cube. Now you tell me, kg meter square second cube. You got it? Let me write. What is watt? Let me take blank slide. What is watt? What is watt? Yes? What is watt? What is watt? Watt is Newton meter per second. Got it? What is Newton? Is kg meter per second square. So if you write kg meter per second square here, that is kg meter per second square into meter per second. What you will get? You will get kg meter square second cube. So what is watt? Watt is kg meter square second cube. Do you understand this? If it is written like this, kg meter square per second cube, it is also unit of watt, or it is also unit of power. Sorry, it is also unit of power, means it is also a watt. हे वॅट आहे, के जी मीटर स्क्वेअर पर सेकंड क्यूब ही जी टर्म आहे याला वॅट म्हणतो आपण. ही टर्म म्हणजे वॅट, कॅपिटल डब्ल्यू. आर यू गेटिंग इट? डू यू अंडरस्टँड दिस कन्सेप्ट? लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. Now we have studied, up to now we have studied the derived physical quantities. Have understood the concepts, have understood the physical quantities, distance, speed, acceleration, force, work, power, everything. Now let's move forward. Now we will discuss fundamental dimensions. Likewise, see, we have discussed fundamental physical quantities. We will discuss fundamental dimensions and we will discuss the derived dimensions. Okay. So let's come to this fundamental dimensions. So basically there are three fundamental dimensions: mass, length and time. We called it MLT. Do you understand this? MLT. If see here, if a physical quantity contains mass, that means m will be 1. If it contains 2 times mass, then it is a m square. If it contains length or distance, it is L1. If it contains 2 times distance, it is L2. 3 times, it is L3. If it is contained times, then 1 or minus 1. Something like that. Do you understand this? These are the fundamental dimensions. I think direct second year students have not studied this topic of physics, because I think it is topic to the 11th and 12th standard. So for direct secondary students, this is new topic. Let me discuss it with you. What is the fundamental dimension? Is nothing but, see, if we are having any quantity, such as we are having velocity. Let me take an example. Suppose we are having velocity. What does velocity have? Velocity is meter per second. Meter is what? Meter is what? It is a length. That is, its dimension is L, and time it is L upon T. That means L T minus 1. We can write T minus 1 like that. Are you getting it? Are you getting it or not? So what will the fundamental, what will the dimensions of, what will be the dimensions of, yes, velocity L T minus m0 L1 T minus 1. What will be dimension? m0 L1 T minus 1. M for kg, this m is for kg and this m is for meter. You should not confuse with this m and this m. This m is for the meter and this m is for the kg. Okay, this is for the mass and this is for the meter. Okay, are you getting it? We generally use the capital letters for the fundamental dimensions MLT, and generally we use small letters for the units kg. But there are certain exceptions, such as we use capital W for watt, we use capital J for joule, we use capital N for Newton, because these are the names of scientists. We use capital K for Kelvin. You must understand these things. Okay, otherwise you would get difficulty while writing the units. Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, next slide please. Now see, we have studied the fundamental dimensions. Likewise, now we will study the derived dimension. Derived dimension is what? Distance. We have studied, we have studied these properties. These are the derived physical properties. But we have to write these properties in terms of dimensions. Distance is what? What comes in distance? Distance मध्ये काय येते? Distance मध्ये length येते. Length. That means L1, M0 and T0. स्पीड व्हेलॉसिटी मध्ये काय येते? मीटर डिस्टन्स येतो, टाइम येतो. त्यामुळे M0 L1 T-1. ॲक्सेलरेशन मध्ये काय येते? L आलाय का? मीटर आलाय का? हो आलाय एक वेळा. टाइम किती वेळा आलाय? 2 वेळा आलाय. पण कसा आलाय? तो इन्व्हर्सली आलाय ना, -2 येत आहे. समजतंय तुम्हाला? फोर्स काय आहे बरं? फोर्स काय? kg मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वेअर. M आलाय का? मास आलाय का? kg आलाय. लेंथ आलाय का? हो मीटर आलाय. टाइम आलाय का? हो कसा आलाय? -2 आलाय. समजतंय का तुम्हाला? येस ऑर नो? हां, मी हे वर्कचं मुद्दाम चुकवलेलं आहे तुमच्यासाठी. इट इज होमवर्क फॉर यू. व्हॉट इज द डायमेन्शन ऑफ वर्क? वर्कचं मुद्दाम हे डायमेन्शन चुकीचं लिहिलेलं आहे. दॅट मीन्स यू शूड नो दॅट व्हॉट इज रॉंग और व्हॉट इज राईट. ओके. नाव पॉवर. पॉवरचं बघा. पॉवरचं मी आताच तुम्हाला सांगितलं. पॉवरचं डायमेन्शन काढलं होतं आपण kg मीटर स्क्वेअर आणि सेकंड क्यूब. आठवते तुम्हाला? kg आला आहे का? M आला आहे का? हो. मीटर स्क्वेअर आला आहे का? हो. टाइम आला आहे का? हो. S⁻³ आला आहे. बरोबर समजलं आहे का तुम्हाला? बरं चला, आपण हे तुम्हाला मी कव्हर करून देतो. एक वर्कचं सांगून देतो. जाऊ दे. वर्क काय राहते? वर्क म्हणजे काय राहते? न्यूटन मीटर. म्हणजे काय असते? kg मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वेअर इंटू मीटर. kg म्हणजे काय असते बरं? kg म्हणजे M, कॅपिटल M, मासचा. M काय झाला? M² म्हणजे काय झाला? L2. आणि हा जे सेकंडचा T जेव्हा वर येईल तेव्हा काय होईल? T-. हे समजलं आहे तुम्हाला डायमेन्शन? M0 L2 T-2 वुड बी दी डायमेन्शन्स ऑफ वर्क. म्हणजे इथं काय पाहिजे बरं? इथं पाहिजे M1 पाहिजे, L2 पाहिजे आणि T काय पाहिजे? T-2 पाहिजे. समजलं आहे का तुम्हाला? मुद्दाम मी इथे तुम्हाला चुकीचं करून दिलेलं आहे, कारण तुम्ही जागरूक पाहिजे लेक्चरच्या दरम्यान. समजलं आहे तुम्हाला? आता हा तुम्ही स्क्रीनशॉट काढू शकता. हे तुम्हाला समजून जाईल. आता पॉवरचे काय राहतील बरं? पॉवरचे तुम्हाला परत करून दाखवतो मी. पॉवर म्हणजे काय असते? पॉवर म्हणजे आपण शिकलो आहे न्यूटन मीटर पर सेकंद. न्यूटन म्हणजे काय असते? न्यूटन असते kg मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वेअर प्लस मीटर पर सेकंद. म्हणजे काय होईल? kg मीटर स्क्वेअर सेकंड क्यूब. आता MLTच्या फॉर्ममध्ये लिहा. M किती वेळा आलेला आहे? मास किती आहे? 1 आलेला आहे. 1 लिहिला तरी ठीक, नाही लिहिला तरी ठीक. म्हणजे जर त्याच्या डोक्यावर काहीच नाही आहे म्हणजे 1 असा असतो. L किती आहे? 2 आणि T किती आहे? -3. हे समजलं आहे का तुम्हाला? हे झालं M1 L2 T-3. असंच लिहिलं आहे का आपण इथं? बघा, M1 L2 T-3. हो, अगदी तसंच लिहिलं आहे. म्हणजे आपलं पॉवर बरोबर आहे का? करेक्ट आहे. समजलं आहे का तुम्हाला? वर्क करेक्ट आहे का? हो, आता करेक्ट केलं आहे आपण. फोर्स करेक्ट आहे का? हो. ॲक्सेलरेशन करेक्ट आहे का? स्पीड हे तर करेक्ट असायलाच पाहिजे. समजतं आहे का तुम्हाला? येस ऑर नो? हा झाला बेसिक लेक्चर आपला आजचं. ठीक आहे. आपलं बेसिक लेक्चर समजलं सर्वांना? समजलं असेल तर तुम्हाला मी होमवर्क देतो. होमवर्क काय आहे? तुम्हाला डायमेन्शन्स काढायचे आहे काही क्वांटिटीचे. कोणत्या क्वांटिटीचं आहे? अँग्युलर व्हेलॉसिटी आहे, डेन्सिटी आहे, एफिशियन्सी आहे, प्रेशर अँड डिस्चार्ज आहे. इट इज होमवर्क फॉर यू. यू शुड डू दिस वर्क ॲट युअर होम. दॅट्स वाय इट इज अ होमवर्क. वी आर एव्हरीवन at home. So what to be studied in next lecture? In next lecture we will discuss syllabus of this subject and the preparation strategy, how to study this subject. Okay, and how many lectures we will require to complete this syllabus. I will show you a plan, teaching plan, how I am going to cover your complete syllabus. Okay, so we will meet in the next lecture. I think everything should be clear to you, or everything will clear to you in next lectures. This is series of lectures. This is not a one day show. We have to meet every day. Every day means as per our time schedule. Okay, and now after the end of this lecture we will be having a Google Meet, and we will be having a quiz, and after quiz we will be having a Google Meet. So thank you very much students for attending this lecture. You continue like this every day you will learn a new thing. Thank you very much.